What's up, everybody? It is Thursday, May 29th. Huh? Yeah? Feeling
That's right.
good?
My son's birthday, yo.
Oh, dang. Happy birthday, Kai! Let's give a birthday shout out to Kai up in the house. Very nice. But yeah, this is the Insiders TV Daily Fantasy MLB show sponsored by FantasyElite, the app that you can get in the App Store from Apple. Huh? Maybe? No?
Yeah,
Almost.
no, you got it. You nailed it.
They are having a little promo where you can get four-person games for 25 cents, but they're giving away $2 for the winner. So that's like $1 an overlay for each contest, which fits in perfectly with the $2 bill soundtrack. Speaking of $2 bill, would like to welcome Napster Man to the show, and joining him, Davis Maddock and Mr. Tuttle 05. Guys, 8 games tonight. So
really? Feels like 4.
no, it's 8. 2-day games, 8
Disgusting
night.
games.
Yeah, it's 8, but it's still gross because the pitching options are just brutal.
Well, that's how it that's. I mean, there's been a couple of days like that where pitching just sucks, and you have
Well,
to
all the good pitchers are getting hurt.
filter out the ones. You have to basically hope that your batters take it. Last night was just a disgusting night, except for Napster Man, who just rocked it everywhere.
No.
That's what he does.
He rocks it, man. He rocks it so hard.
I didn't play much. Only draft day was my main site.
Yeah. Well,
It was fun though.
yeah. Basically, if you had a lot of exposure to that Diamondbacks Padres game, you were doing well.
If you listened to the show yesterday, you probably didn't do that well, though. Like, in all reality, we gave out some really terrible advice.
It wasn't bad advice. It just didn't pan out.
Oh, yeah. No, the process was fine. Although, we did give out some stuff that hit. We gave out Montero. We gave out Justin Morneau. Like, there was some stuff that worked out.
Goldie, we mentioned Goldie, but we did not. We told people about the increase in Joe Saunders' fastball and how you might not want to stack against them. So we warned them.
I did not follow that advice.
You gotta listen to me when I say that sort of thing.
Yeah.
You weren't even the one who told me about that, and I was the one who brought it up on the show.
Wasn't Dozier like 3 feet away from just destroying Saunders?
Grand slam.
Yeah. So yeah, it could have gone either way.
All right. Well, I'll let you 3 BVPers at it, and you guys can just chat it up. Go for it.
All right. Cool. Well, let's talk about weather real quick. The only game I saw that's real concerning right now is the St. Louis-San Francisco game. Is that right, Nap?
Yeah, but it looks fine to me. 30% scattered, maybe towards the end, but I think it's good now.
And I'm not really considering Jaime Garcia for cash games tonight. Maybe I can be swayed by one of you two gentlemen or someone in chat. But as of right now, I would just rather not. So that doesn't really affect me anyways. So yeah, let's just talk about pitchers then. It's a really gross slate of pitchers. The lowest game, according to Vegas, the lowest run total is the Dodgers versus Pirates. But Dan Herron is a pretty significant favorite over Garrett Cole. I think how much of a favorite is he, Tuttle? Is he like minus 150?
I think the game's close to a pick'em.
It's a toss-up.
Okay, then it changed from the first time I looked at it then.
You know, it opened like he was like minus 120, but now they're both about minus 100. So, and that's kind of what it feels like. It's whichever offense shows up basically is going to determine.
Yeah. I would, for my money in my cash games, and I don't think this is going to surprise anybody listening, but I would definitely take Garrett Cole. He's just, when you look at his skills, he's a much better pitcher. His K rate is higher. He's league average at the stuff that he's bad at. And just in general, on a night like this, when you're looking at a bunch of mediocre options, now he is facing a really good offense, but he's also facing a mediocre offense that I believe a lot of the best hitters are not going to have the platoon advantage on him. Yeah, that's right. So like Kemp, Puig, Hanley Ramirez, those guys are not going to have the platoon advantage on him. And we saw Homer Bailey come out last night and perform pretty well against them. So I'm not afraid of using Cole tonight. Are you guys on board with that?
Tuttle?
I'll you want me to
there
go?
You go. Yeah, Tuttle. It's
I don't know.
No one wants to take a stand on pitchers tonight, but I think
I know.
Garrett Cole
I mean,
actually
that's all it is. I think Cole's a decent option. I don't mind either way on this game. I honestly think, from a pitcher standpoint, if you're targeting one in this game, I think it's pretty much a coin flip between a Heron and Cole. I wouldn't take a stance on it, really. I think, I mean, Cole's got the platoon advantage, but still, the Dodgers are definitely the superior offense going tonight as opposed to the Pirates. So, I think you do want to take a pitcher from this game. I'm just not.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on either side particularly. I don't know if do you have a side you want to take on it, Nat?
Right now, I'm more on Heron. I think he's gonna get a little more run support. Cole's just, yeah, he can have that breakout or monster 7 strikeout plus game, but he just seems to not be going deep and like even at home. So road game against a pretty scary offense. D leading off can just destroy him right away if he gets on. So it's just not a safe spot, I think, for a single pitcher site. But for GPP, hedging Heron and Cole is pretty smart on a night like tonight.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think if you're playing multiple lineups, I don't think it's a bad idea just to go, put Cole in 50%, put Heron in the other 50%, because I think that's how close it is. I really think it's a really tough call tonight between the two.
Yeah, and I mean, I think everyone has their own sort of way that they're going to break tiebreakers. Like, I think some people I've saw mention on Twitter is that the Pirates had to fly after their most recent game. They had to fly across the country, so that matters to them. My tiebreaker most of the time with stuff like this is K rate. The guy who strikes out more batters on average is going to be what I look at. And while the only problem here is that, well, Cole definitely strikes out, I think, maybe 2.5 more batters per 9 than Heron does. He also walks an extra batter and a half per 9. And an offense like the Dodgers, that definitely matters, because through the top 5 of that order, okay, so say you retire D. Gordon, but if you walk Yasiel Puig, you're not getting a reprieve. You're going to have Matt Kemp there, or you're going to have Adrian Gonzalez there. So walking guys against that offense is pretty bad.
Sean Figgins.
Yeah, Sean Figgins,
Sean.
Yeah. And I should mention this. We're doing if you guys want to go hop in the 4-person draft that'll be featured on the show, it just needs one more person before it gets filled up. So you guys should go run in there and go do that. All right, but outside of those two guys, let's maybe some people are just completely off this game. They want to fade it, whatever. Where would you guys be looking at for some pitching power tonight? Tuttle, is there anyone else you like?
It's it sucks. It's a really crappy night. I think your next, probably the next tier, is kind of a tie between me. Would be Dickey, and then Ubaldo. I think is kind of a tie. I think both are risky, which, I mean, every pitcher you're going to pitch tonight's risky. So I could see going in either of those directions. But the other thing that I think, a pitcher I think is who's the most talented tonight, who's probably going to get overlooked a decent amount just because of matchup, would be James Shields. I don't think I'll roster him, but I think he's going to be very under-owned tonight just because of the matchup and because of recency bias with the Blue Jays lineup. So I think if you're playing a GPP or you're running multiple lineups out there, I actually think I like Shields quite a bit as a somewhat of a contrarian play, but you're actually getting a contrarian play with the most talented pitcher. So I think it could be a decent spot to take him tonight.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I definitely agree with R.A. Dickey. The Royals fired their hitting coach yesterday morning, and so it was this morning. So they have like all of this turmoil going on. They just had a series where I think they scored like 4 runs versus the Astros. They got shut out in at least they might have they honestly might have gotten shut out in 2 of those games. I'm not exactly positive, but they got shut down by some really bad pitchers by the Astros. One of them was not Dallas Keuchel. So I could definitely see like R.A. Dickey going 8 innings, 6 Ks, like 2 earned runs tonight at like 100%, just because the bottom half of the Royals order, once you get past Salvador Perez, not even one of those guys is a league average hitter. So really all you're trying to do is keep Hosmer from hitting doubles and keep Alex Gordon from getting on base. And if you can do that, that lineup is completely without punch. So I honestly might even use Dickey in cash games tonight. I think I might have just talked myself into him over Garrett Cole.
Yeah, and then the other guy that I'm considering, even he hasn't been great this year, but it's a kind of a decent spot. Jake Peavy, at home, I think he's a little better there, but just the Braves lineup, like, the top 3 or 4 scary, even Gaddis when he's on and kind of super scary, but like Johnson, Domet, La Stella, and Simmons, like they're not like crazy scary. I mean, there's a lot of Ks in that lineup potentially. BJ Upton's in second, so if you really want to, kind of ride that trend that the Red Sox pitching's had, getting like Lester had like 9 Ks or whatever. What's the guy yesterday? Lackey had 9 Ks. If you want to keep riding that, Sox pitching's been solid, and he's not I don't think he's gonna be popular at all. I think people are gonna go Dickey, and then one guy in that last game, Cole or Heron. So just keep on your radar if you're doing a few teams. Definitely, you gotta cover that. He could just crush, I think.
Yeah,
we got a Buchanan question.
He's not good. He's really not.
He's so cheap though. You gotta consider it. Not for a cash game though. Definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have to consider it. The research I did for him was from last week when I was looking at taking hitters against him. That obviously didn't work out. And a lot of the times with those guys coming up for their first start, it's tricky just because guys have never seen them before. There's not video scouting reports, all of that stuff. But honestly, inside of the Phillies organization, like not the Phillies. Wait, is it the Phillies?
Yeah.
He's not even considered a prospect. Like he's just a stopgap guy. So yeah, you might get like 5 shutout innings out of him, but don't expect anything more than that. That is not a high upside option at all.
Well, the thing that happens a lot with these guys that are really cheap is you start forcing big bats into your lineup, and they might not even actually have a good matchup just because you feel like you have to spend money. So unless you really think that Buchanan can get you a solid baseline of points, I don't think it's worth the risk of taking Buchanan in general. But then you're also risking just forcing in bats just to force him in there. I know that happens with me quite a bit, where I'll take an expensive bat in a less than ideal matchup just because I have the money to spend, and that's really not an optimal way to construct lineups.
Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I mean that's absolutely true.
I mean, who are you going to spend on tonight? Is the thing. Like, yeah, you can take him on FanDuel for $3,000. He's got pretty low upside, but then who are you going to spend your money on?
I mean, Goldschmidt uses a lot of salary. Yeah, Angels, Diamondbacks, like they're not super cheap, the studs. So you can fill up a nice lineup with him, but yeah, I don't think he's as upside as most of the guys that are even like. I'd rather take a guy in the Giants Cardinals game than him, even though I don't even like those pitchers tonight. But
Art in chat.
I don't know.
I mean, like Art in chat mentions Crush, Puig, Trout, Cruz, and they're all certainly options. But that's kind of what I'm pointing out too. Is, I mean, Puig you probably wouldn't consider on a normal night tonight just because he's going up and against an above-average pitcher and he doesn't have the platoon advantage. I mean, he's not a good price play. Like he's not a good price play. It's not something that you're going to get a good return on value for. So you're basically only playing him tonight just because you'd have the money. But I mean, I don't hate playing Buchanan. but just make sure that you're not forcing guys in less than ideal matchups into your lineup just because you have the money to do so.
Yeah.
That's fair.
So after this discussion, have your guys' thoughts changed at all? Mine has. I just talked myself into R.A. Dickey. That just happened on air. That's who I'm going to use in cash games tonight.
I mean, yeah, I agree. For single lineup.
Yeah.
Or single pitcher, yeah.
Yeah, single pitcher. I just think he offers the best combination of skill and matchup. I really don't want to take Cole against the Dodgers. It's just a scary spot to be in.
And I don't want to take Heron, but
And
it might happen.
at least there's no like crazy big qualifier tonight. It's just a fun night.
Yeah.
Except you want those $3,000 price pitchers on qualifying nights.
Yeah, there should be some.
Because they're fun. Those guys are always fun to create lineups around.
Yep. All right, yeah. Let's move on though. Since we kind of agree that pitching is gross today, let's get on to some hitting analysis and see if our process can bring some better results than it did yesterday. The first thing we got to do, we got to talk about stacks. Nap is the king of the stack. So who's the first guy?
Why do you say? What do you mean I'm the king? Of the stack?
You are the king of the stack, dude.
Where's
That's
your?
just
No,
where's-
Cardinals
where's
is
my-
the king of the stack.
That was so last year.
Yeah, that's last year. Come on.
That was
man.
so last
That's
year.
so
And
last
that
year.
and that was just like that was like a time frame when it was like not super popular, like, you know. But now it's just like everyone has the same stack. It's kind of stupid. It's kind of waste of money to me, unless there's obvious ones. But yeah, tonight stacks, man. Diamondbacks are always stackable at home. Against Cingrani, yeah, I think Diamondbacks are the top stack, and then probably Red Sox. I don't know. It's just I'm not really stacking much tonight. I hadn't even thought about it. Like my main lineup, I only have like 2 guys at most from one team. So if I had to, it'd be Diamondbacks. It's not really nothing really standing out.
That's kind of what my process was when I put together an early team or an all-day team on DraftKings earlier today, and I was going through, and like Nab said, it's kind of a weird day where one offense doesn't really, jump out at you as a solid stack. I'd
Angels.
say Baltimore, I think, would probably be my top stack, but even then, I mean, I'm not with Machado down to 7th in the lineup. That takes away a hitter that I thought I was gonna have in my lineup tonight. So even if I'm going Baltimore, I'm probably only wanting, exposure to 3 or 4 guys at max in that lineup. So I think it's a night where you almost avoid full stacks, even if you're running, some DraftKings GPPs or whatever you're running out there. I think it's a night where it's a little more mix and match than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nap, hop in this $4 this 4-person
Which
game
one?
on
There's like 10 of them. one?
It is the one that is 3 out of 4 full. It's MLB at 840.
I got it.
Yep. Okay, cool. The team that I'm looking to stack tonight, other than the Diamondbacks, I think the Diamondbacks actually are in like a really good spot, and they're like 3 or 4 other guys that I really like, even relative to price. But I also like the Astros against Ubaldo, because if he gets wild, then they're just gonna mash. That's what they do. They've been they've been mashing. Like, this has been a stack that's like worked out like a lot, like the last week and a half. And I think I'm definitely gonna throw a couple teams in that are Astro heavy. The problem is that it's hard to find guys with the platoon advantage tonight. So I probably won't do that. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna change my answer. Angels, just because I think Brandon Maher is so bad. I think Brandon Maher is so terrible. So I'll be going Angels mostly. But yeah. So let's talk about some catchers though. It's kind of a weird position tonight. It seems like the guy I'm using in most of my cash games is an Astro against Ubaldo. I really like Jason Castro tonight. Is he at the top of your list, Tuttle?
Yeah, I think he probably would be the top catching option tonight. In my all-day games, I had to go with your man crush, John Jaso.
Yeah.
He's got 2 singles so far, so
Nice.
keeping it real Jaso style. But yeah, I think Castro has got to be the top option as far as you look, and he's pretty much the only catcher in a good position in the batting order. He's got the platoon advantage. A guy that I don't mind would be Devin Mesoraco. Doesn't have the platoon advantage, batting fifth, and it's against a bad pitcher in Cole Mentor. So I think he might be next on the list, but he's priced a little high on some of the places across the industry.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was just saying, right now I have Mesoraco pretty much everywhere. Maybe Hector Sanchez if he's still super cheap on some sites. No Posey tonight. He's in the 5-hole. And then super cheap, Nick Hundley and Tuffy Gosowicz if you really want to punt.
Tuffy!
Yeah, I mean, he can get you a couple points for. I think he's got to be 22 on FanDuel. I think he's 25 on DK. About Hundley's the same price, I think. But yeah, Castro's probably second, and then Gaddis. It's about. I mean, Salvador Perez maybe if you're kind of on Fade Dickey. But yeah, there's not too much that's super sexy.
Yeah, I definitely I might take Tuffy Goosewitch in a lineup or two, if I want to make room for some pricier hitters. Just because I'm not in love with, outside of Castro, I'm not really in love with anybody's matchup. So normally old Tuffy, he's got the bare minimum price tag almost everywhere. So I don't mind taking him at all.
I mean, Yachty, he's always in play, but I don't know.
The problem is we have not seen Vogeldong in like a month and a half.
I know he's been good, and
It's gonna come tonight.
I don't like that game. Both pitchers can be lights out, and both can blow up. Like that's the tough part for trusting anyone.
Mm-hmm.
There is not one trustable pitcher tonight at all anywhere.
No,
There's not one guy you can trust. So honestly, tonight might be one of those nights where the stack that blows up is like the Pirates annihilate or the Dodgers. Like you have no idea what's going to happen tonight.
Tonight is a multi-entry night. That's just the bottom line. Tonight is a night where you can throw in different combos of pitchers to these tournaments and see which one binks. But because there's so many different options. So I like kind of nights like tonight where there's very little overlap, like in the cash games. Like last night, I knew on on a site like FanDuel, there's going to be 90% Clayton Kershaw, and there was. Like, I mean, you had a 223-man double up. 89% was on Clayton Kershaw, which they should have been. I mean, that was the correct process. One of the good things about Fantasy Elite, which I see you got Nap and Roto Hobo in there with Mariner.
I got
Optimist.
auto-drafted on Pujols. That sucks.
Oh, no.
I forgot it was a minute timer.
That is a fine play.
Yeah,
Pujols and Goldschmidt, not bad. But
now
anyways,
I got like no salary left there.
Anyways, when you're grinding out cash games, it's different for like tournaments because you try to go away from the obvious play on tournament days. But when you're grinding out cash games, not having that obvious pitcher, for me, I enjoy because I think that the less overlap, the better chance I have.
Yep.
If you're trying to get an advantage and everyone has the same pitcher, then you're basically just relying on your bats. So count on me for tonight.
Well, I mean, people who took Lackey last night were pretty happy, right?
Yeah.
People who took Liam Hendricks last night were pretty happy. Cy Hendricks, man, he's out there. He's just out there dealing.
Yeah, it's not about like last night. It's just about
I know.
all the nights. And by the way, it's funny. Nap auto drafted Pujols, but the minute clock was his idea.
Not for a live show. That'd be fun. I like the fast drafts.
Ooh,
I'm paying attention now, though.
Fast draft. We are learning so much about Nap. I can't even mention what was said on pre-show.
Oh, God.
Just know that we're learning a lot about him.
That's a ridiculous question.
Oh, yeah, I'll just late sub Pujols for, Cowgill.
All right, moving on.
Cowgill, that'd be a good answer to this.
He's not.
Yep. Oh, no one knows what's happening
Davis,
right
you can't
now.
talk about it, but you can type the question in chat so people
Oh,
get
let's
the
just-
No,
Okay.
no,
First
no.
base.
No, second base.
They need to know why Colin Cowgill's a good answer to the question. I think Davis needs to type it in chat.
Speaking of second base.
I'm just using Howie Kendrick because I want exposure versus more. I didn't think anyone else would be on him, but I just want exposure against what I think is the worst pitcher on the slate. Who are you looking at, Nap?
On DK, Prado's eligible. If there's a third base you really want also. So Prado's probably the top second base for his price. If you want to use him at second base. But besides him, I mean, Cano's definitely an option. He's 5,300 though. Like DK, I don't want to spend that. I don't want to spend that much on second base when Prado's there. And then I like Daniel Murphy a lot. He's been picking it back up. He's got a good matchup. So kind of Murphy and Prado, just depending on the site, are where I'm going on second base.
I think most people are going to be on Dustin Pedroia tonight. I think that's who most people are going to look at.
Especially on FanDuel. He's like 3,300. Like, why not?
Yeah. Are you on board with the Pedroia line of thinking, Tuttle?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to spend, I guess he's not too expensive across the industry. It looks like he's 4,800 on DraftKings. His price was deflated on FanDuel. He's only 3,400 on FanDuel. Another guy that I might go off of or might go with would be Colton Wong, batting second. It has the feeling of that game where everyone's finally going to be off targeting Vogelsong and he's going to get lit. So I don't mind. I think the Cardinals' offense is an offense you actually want some exposure to tonight. So I don't mind getting it for cheap by going with Colton Wong.
What about Aaron Hill versus Don Grani?
I auto-drafted again. This sucks. I keep forgetting.
I was laughing at the Jim Abbott response to your question, Davis.
Yeah, you weren't laughing at Aaron Hill. I just got
Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill is a reasonable response.
I just got auto drafted twice.
Dude, minutes.
You guys need to pay attention.
I know.
No, meanwhile, Roto Hobo
Hodge is taking us all in.
Yeah, no, he has Prado and Hill, so this is game over. Yeah, this is game over already.
I got Aegon. I mean, I might not swap him, but I don't want him.
Yeah.
Napster Man's got all the first basemen: Goldie, Pujols, and Aegon.
I guess that's how it auto drafts by position. I don't know, but they're not first base on the site. That's weird. Why did I get those two?
You might have had them favorited from before.
Yeah, I didn't have those guys tonight, though. Whatever. I'll change it. It's all good.
That's what late swaps for.
Yep.
I got no options. Oh, I just auto-drafted again. I wasn't ran out. I got It's all first base. I'm ruining this draft.
He got Votto. Oh man, yeah, and Grant
back tonight.
Yeah, Hodge is just sitting back.
Hodge.
$4.
Yeah, Hodge is saying, this draft is his. Although I said that last night, and it should be worth noting that I won last night, just so everyone knows. I took it down. Shortstops, though. I think there's an interesting little development in Arizona with shortstops, in that Chris Owings is batting second, and he's got to be like almost minimum everywhere, right? He's pretty inexpensive. I don't even he's not a very good hitter at all. I would definitely I think the guy who I'm going to use tonight is Xander Bogaerts. But after seeing Owings' lineup placement, I think I'm more disposed to take him than I was before. Like, he was completely off my radar before I saw that placement in the lineup.
Yeah.
So are you taking Bogaerts tonight though, Nap?
I mean, I'm still working on teams. He's on my radar. Like right now, I had Andrelton Simmons on TK. He's 3,100, just because I kind of wanted to see lineups. But yeah, Owings. He's 3,500 against the lefty in that, at home. I'm gonna go to him. I like him. I like that spot a lot.
Yeah, I don't I don't hate that. I don't hate that pick at all. But I think Bogarts, especially on FanDuel where I play most of my action, he's just, first of all, he's really good versus left-handed pitching, and he's an on-base guy, so he just very rarely, like, he just won't hurt you there. Nap, you're on the clock again, just so you know.
Oh.
Tuttle, are there any other shortstops that you're looking at?
I think those are the two main guys. I don't have a problem if you want to try to predict when Vogelsson's actually going to get lit up and go Johnny Peralta. I don't have a problem with it. If you want that Cardinals exposure. I think, I'm trying to look it up right now, I think Peralta's actually got more power against righties, if I recall correctly. If not, it's very close.
TJ says
he doesn't have quite as much power, but it's pretty close.
TJ says that Bogart's only 3.8 and has been raking lately. By the way, TJ has been raking lately. I've seen him up top on the leaderboards almost all the time. So
is it TJ or TJ?
I think it's TJ.
Okay.
Not to be confused with HJ.
Yeah, that third base is definitely tough tonight. Like a lot of guys similar price. Seager's 3,800 also, and Bogarts. They're both third base eligible. So, man, it's not a fun night. I don't know.
We're taking Prado. We're taking Prado at third base. We don't even have to talk about third base today. That conversation.
Oh, on other
over.
sides, yeah. DK, yeah. I had him a second just because I don't like much. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's time for the Napster Man competition though. Before we talk about first and third base though. So
now I got to do my draft. I got to do this elite and talk about this. I'm gonna get like the worst auto draft. Hold on, I got 8 seconds. Who's drafting? Whose turn is it? Whose turn is it?
It is there. I will say this. Now that we're doing these drafts for money on air, like you guys should definitely be targeting us because it's hard. It's hard to draft.
It is. It is.
Wade LeBlanc. I was on the clock.
It's cool, dude. I have 4 Angels hitters and then Brandon Marr.
My guy's not even pitching tonight though.
Wade LeBlanc, baby.
Why did it take him? I did not have him start. He's 9. Why did it take him?
Because you had to take the starting pitcher.
Yeah, but why wouldn't it just take the next available one that was priced and playing tonight? Come on, Grant.
Because we pick Wade LeBlanc. Why not?
Oh, yeah, we probably need to do something about the clock. But hey, don't let that get you down because we've got the...
There we go.
Napster Man's Kung Fu match.
So tonight's game is pretty simple. I'm kind of going with the gross theme of the night. So it's basically pick the hitter with the worst night overall. So you start with like obviously hits, and then 0-4 as like the most at bats will be the second kind of criteria. So 0 for 6, worse than 0 for 5, obviously, and then strikeouts. So that it probably will stop at that to decide a winner. But if somehow they're tied still, it'll be left on base for the final tiebreaker. Hopefully, there'll be one by themselves for that. So yeah, tweet me at Napster Man. Use the hashtag InsidersTV. Then one guess per person. First come, first serve. Winner gets a shirt.
Papa said that he's picking your draft.
Big Votto. They have to be playing tonight.
And Jordan Case is undoubtedly going to pick someone that TFB picks first.
I think
he's also undoubtedly going to take someone who like triple dongs. Like whoever Jordan takes, you guys should seriously be looking to put him in your lineup.
I'm pretty sure Jordan just picked Wade LeBlanc for his player.
Jordan picked Billy Butler, it looks like.
That's
a good pick. I like it.
That's an excellent pick. Billy Butler is so terrible.
I like that one.
Yeah, that's not a bad pick at all.
Basically, pick a guy from a really good team that's poised to go off tonight. Because they're going to get the most at-bats.
Yeah, that's excellent advice.
Yeah, pick an away player, get the extra at-bat, and then like...
Just hope they suck.
Some guy in like the 7th hole, yeah.
Billy Butler, bases loaded multiple times, strikeouts.
Pick the player that you are like relying the heaviest tonight, because
That's true. There's your hedge.
if they don't
Actually,
do anything,
You don't want seventh hole. You want guys going to get most at bats. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So-
Oh, then definitely CJ Crone, because I'm just like the biggest CJ Crone homer ever.
He's probably.
So,
Is he going to be
not-
anything?
No,
Mr.
he's
Reddy?
not. He's not going to be in the lineup. But I'm guessing
We
him
got
anyway.
some more in. We got TFB with BJ Upton.
Nice.
Oh, excellent.
Numbers
the winner.
numbers guy with Ryan Howard.
Okay.
And then we got Pedro Sirocco from Walter.
Ryan Howard hit a walk-off home run last night, and
Off a
Steve and Laufey were at the game. I'm imagining that they celebrated a big-time man hug, like as the ball was leaving the park.
Through bromance.
Yeah, you know they were. So it was a sweet moment for them, even though Steve couldn't find his car on the way back. Anyways, let's move on to the hot corner.
Yep. All right. First base, Goldschmidt or Crush Davis. Tuttle.
Crush.
Yeah. I'm going Chris Davis just based off wanting to diversify, because I have so many Diamondbacks at other positions, and if we get Cy Cingrani tonight, I'm going to be absolutely furious. So if there's an option who's just as good, I want to diversify a little bit.
And that's what it is for me. I think if you have something that's close, you go with the pitcher. I mean, Cingrani has been god-awful this year, but still, you go with the pitcher that just sucks at life, which would be Peacock. you go against him. I mean, Cingrani has some good pedigree. He hasn't put it together this year. He had a decent year last year.
No,
he's a
amazing.
solid prospect.
He had the longest streak of any pitcher. He had 16 straight outings with 5 hits or less. It was like the longest streak ever. And then it all fell apart. He's just been terrible his last 3 starts.
And he's magically going to put it together tonight.
Oh yeah. Well, he only will magically put it together if Steve rosters tons of Diamondbacks tonight.
And he's going to. He's going to. He's going to be so mad tonight. I know it's going to happen. I just saw Steve tweet that Goldie is a better option than Chris Davis.
Yep.
So everyone that tells you just go Chris Davis and
Someone jacked me on the swap. They took Shoemaker. And I'm stuck with Marr.
That would be me.
Oh,
Because I drafted Mars so that I could swap.
he's slow.
Poor
Way too
Nap. Oh gosh.
Are we even
I like
considering
this
anyone
team, though.
else?
I got Cano in now. You guys are dead.
I think for a stack, I would consider Pujols, just because I really do think that Marr is that bad. Outside of that, though, I'm not. I have not looked at anyone else, really.
I haven't read the article yet, but the Roto Experts article that Drew and Mike put out, the headline was something like, Chris Davis is going to crush your lineups tonight.
Come on, everyone, because it was Leone's turn to write today, so it was come on. Chris Davis is a better play than Paul Goldschmidt tonight. He is. Something like that.
He doesn't have the handedness or the platoon advantage, but Steve Pearce batting second.
Yeah.
Get out of here with your Steve Pearce.
Steve Pearce. I don't know what his price is on Draft Street, but $2,500 on you want to pay up on FanDuel for your first base, so don't even consider him there. But if you're throwing a random GPP lineup out, hey, Steve Pearce, why not?
Yep. I will absolutely not be rostering
Davis,
Steve
can you
anywhere.
vibe with that? Tell us, can you vibe with
God
that?
damn it, David. No, I can't vibe
Davis
with
can't
that.
vibe with that. Here's your. I'm giving someone the steps to winning a GPP tonight. Don't do this if you only have one entry or are worried about losing your money. But if you don't care about those things, on FanDuel, put James Shields as your starting pitcher, and put Steve Pearce as your first baseman.
I
Build
agree
from
with
there.
one of those two steps. One of those two steps could absolutely have a positive ROI if you did it a bunch of times.
Steve Pearce?
No. Maybe I would take Steve Pearce the next time Trevor Bauer pitches against a team that Steve Pearce is on. Sure, because the gods did not reward me for mocking Steve Pearce the day that Trevor Bauer pitched versus Baltimore. But no. Yeah, I'm good at first base though. Honestly, I would rank them. I think Goldschmidt is a better play than Chris Davis, but I'm trying to diversify. So I'm playing Chris Davis, if that makes any sense. It doesn't make any sense, but that's the way baseball goes because projections in baseball are not accurate. So you need to play the percentages, and you need to, especially in cash games, you can't. Something I've learned, I think, over the last several weeks is that in cash games, just taking 4 guys from 2 different teams is not exactly a super non-volatile strategy for cash games, because then you're left tweeting things like hashtag Cy Hendricks, which is pretty frustrating. So yeah, let's talk about third base. I'm just using Prado.
I got Dustin Ackley in now. If you're curious.
Well, we were super curious.
All right. No more lead. Third base or no? What
Yeah,
position?
Third base.
Prado, were sites where you can only use him third base. I think that's probably the top option for the price. And then, God, it's gross. Bogarts is eligible on a couple sites. Seager, God, he was so hot for a while, but now it's just like it's hard to trust Seager. He has to kind of hit a dong to pay off. It's like he's not going to do much else. What do you think, Tuttle? Just Prado and Todd Frazier?
Yeah,
I don't mind the Seager mention. I also don't mind Matt Carpenter.
Yeah, I don't really use him much, but yeah, he's scrappy. He can do a lot of things. That's about it. I mean, I want guys who can like
scrappy. We just heard scrappy.
It looks like he's got a. I'm looking through his DraftKings game logs right now. Looks like he's got a hit in every one of his past 10 games. I mean, he's a consistent option.
Dude, game logs are the greatest trick the devil has ever played.
Yeah, I just don't want guys that are going to like a couple doubles and runs to like hit their value. Like, I want guys who can hit their value on one swing and get like double dong steals. Like Carpenter, he might be. I don't know. He's just not a guy that like. I want to use that.
Knapp wants flashy guys.
No, I want guys that are like dongers. Like
Matt Carpenter is your blue collar.
He's gonna double dong tonight
GM
just because
plant worker.
I think
Todd Knapp wants the white collar, divorce attorney.
Todd Frazier would be my off the radar dong guy because it's not going to bear out right now, but if you look at the year that Cole Mentor was actually doing well, he was like a reverse splits pitcher. It was really weird. That was when he was doing well. Now obviously Cole Mentor is a back of the rotation arm for a not very good MLB team. So I don't hate Todd Frazier tonight though. I think he could dong. But I'm using Prado.
Bros. John Jaso's up to bat with the bases loaded, bros.
Oh, we're going to get... I can already predict one of the Insiders DFS news blurbs tonight. No, I'm not implying that he's going to grand slam. He's going to hit a check swing single down the third base line, though.
No, he's about to get pinch hit for. Because they brought in a left-handed pitcher. So here comes Derek Norris.
Yep, there you go. That's quintessential. I love John Jason.
It's gonna happen. It hasn't been announced yet, but Norris is there's no way they don't bring Norris in. Here's the question though: why do you bring a left-handed pitcher in that scenario? Wouldn't you rather face Jaso than Derek Norris with the bases loaded?
Well, what's the score?
2 outs, 3-2. They're down 3-2. It's sixth inning.
The A's are down.
A's are down.
You want a guy off the bench who's cold, maybe. It's harder to.
Jaso is a better defensive catcher than Norris is. So
they're trying to get him out of the game for defensive reasons.
Yeah, that could be why.
Jaso's already singled twice. You said why take another chance on him?
Derek Norris is going yard right now.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's not true, Grant Gerton. I'm pretty sure that if I went and found the pitch framing stuff, Jaso would be a good defensive catcher. That's what I mean by defensive catcher. I don't mean blocking the plate. All right, outfield though. I'm playing Mike Trout. he's definitely way too expensive, especially on DraftKings and Draft Street. I don't think you can play him. Maybe, well, actually, definitely, because I think today is a two starting pitcher, one reliever day on Draft Street. If I was playing there, what I'm not going to do today, just because I hate these starting pitching options. But like I said, I've said it like 6 times on the show. I want exposure versus more. Who are some outfield options that you like, Tuttle?
I mean, I like Baltimore's my top offense to target, so I like some of those guys. I do like Markakis leading off tonight. He's getting up there in price. I don't think he's bad on FanDuel. Yeah, he's cheap on FanDuel. He's $2,700. I like him quite a bit on FanDuel for that price. He's a little higher priced on DraftKings. He's $4,000. So he's a borderline play for me on DraftKings. But I think Markakis is in a pretty good spot. Nelson Cruz is obviously just on an absolute tear, so I don't have a problem fitting him into your lineup, even if he doesn't have the platoon advantage.
Oh, you're better than that, dude. Don't say because he's hot right now.
I didn't say he's hot. He is on a tear, though.
That is definitely a reason to fit Cruz in. Like, he's sick right now. Like,
but here's the thing,
he's sick right now.
Whoa! Look at
he was
this.
playing like you Darvish or someone, I wouldn't force it in. But like, dude, it's Peacock.
Yeah,
I'm fine. See, there you go. I'm fine saying that.
But yeah, I mean that's obviously factored in.
But if we're gonna fight the BVP war, we have to fight the hot cold streak war too.
It's not. No.
I'm joking, dude.
There's no fight. I know what you're saying. Like, he's just
it's a good matchup, regardless.
Yeah.
And that's why people like we have this whole BVP thing going on, and it's hilarious. There's a thread on over at RG
is there
about
really?
it. Yeah, where Stevie's picking the top BVP guys versus the worst BVP guys of the night. And I mean, you look at the list of the worst BVP guys, and they're bad BVP guys because they don't have the platoon advantage and they're crappy players. I mean, that's all it is. I mean, they're guys that you wouldn't pick anyways. It's obvious why they have bad numbers, and it's the exact opposite for the guys with good BVP. It's because they got the platoon advantage against average pitchers.
Yeah, and I think everything is in moderation. So,
I don't believe in moderation.
Well, that's obvious by your motto of I can vibe with that. But as far as the like certain players do have hot streaks. Like Ben talks about Justin Upton when he hits his first home run, he's gonna hit a few. Like he just is in hot streaks, and sure enough, that's what happened. So I think with certain players it can happen. You obviously can't, I don't think, quantify that sort of stuff. The best players take into account everything. I mean, that's just the bottom line. If you only go by BVP, if you only go by hot streaks, if you only go by metrics, then you're one-sided, and you need a little bit of everything. I know Davis disagrees because he's a film watcher, but that's just
no, let's not go there.
Okay, let's not go there. Well,
why Davis doesn't like it, and why guys that are all about advanced metrics don't certainly believe in streaks per se, is just because it's not quantifiable, it's not predictable. The data that you get, it's not predictive data. I mean, I think certainly if you've played or watched the sport enough, by watching and playing that there's certainly, you don't necessarily call them streaks because people hate that words, but players certainly see the ball better, at periods throughout the year.
You're in the zone, man. You're freaking in the zone. That there is such a thing
in the zone,
as a zone.
One thing I hate is everyone who played high school baseball trying to explain to me why BVP is real. I don't think your experience playing third base your junior year of high school is applicable to daily fantasy sports.
There was a comment where Dink, where Tommy said he talked to all the guys in the bar that played baseball, and Dink said, well, that's why he didn't make it. That was a classic quote. Anyways, I think STL said on Twitter to me that the BVP haters, they just live to disprove the BVP theory. Like, I do think we give it too much attention as on this show. So if we could wrap up.
Yeah, can we just agree? Like, how about this? Everyone has their way that works for them. Like, just play what you feel is what on that night is the data telling you to play. Like, everyone's different data. Like, why does one have to be 100% correct, and why have to disprove the other one? Like,
trying to disprove stuff is like cheering against people, like cheering against situations. It just makes you feel kind of gross. Just be positive. That's what.
Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
Oh my God, Crone is in the lineup versus a righty.
Yeah.
Swag.
What's even better?
I think it's Hakuna Matata instead of Kumbaya.
Since we're talking about outfielders, you know what's even better? Cole Calhoun leading off.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Right. Oh, I'm so happy.
You guys wrap this outfield up because I have a great trivia game for us.
Cole.
Oh yeah, outfield.
Story over.
Yep, Cole Calhoun done with outfield.
Yep, we're over it.
No.
Literally all of Cole Calhoun. I'm playing on Draft Street now just so I can get more exposure.
Give me more Cole.
Yeah.
All right, outfield. Like, I think Pollock's probably one of the top options. Definitely. It's weird though. He's like supposedly better against lefty, but he's been crushing righties. It seems more often lately. So I mean, for the price, I like him on most sites. He's like 8K on draft day. It's almost the most play, I think. And then Johnny Gomes, I'm looking at hard too. 5-hole against a lefty. He's always in play. He's cheap. Springer.
Would you use Raul Ibanez?
No.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, if you're like your last guy to fit in on, and he's cheap, but I'm not targeting him, no. And then, Orioles, they're so expensive. I mean, if you can fit them, if you're going cheap like Steve Pearce plus some Orioles, you can definitely fit that on FanDuel. Pollock, Ross, Cody Ross is super cheap, but I don't really trust him.
Cody Ross is mega cheap. He's 24 on FanDuel.
And then I like Michael Saunders. Anytime he's in the 2-hole against a righty, he hasn't been. He can steal bases, but he hasn't been doing that lately. Like, I wish he would, because James Jones just kind of taking that away from him. But yeah, there's a lot of plays.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's do trivia.
You guys want to lose again?
What's that?
You guys want to lose again?
I want a fair contest.
Okay, this will be a fair contest. However, like, you guys have to play by the rules. So here's what's gonna happen. Do you guys have? You guys have to look at the screen or have to look at the camera. Okay. You have to look at the camera and take off. Like, Tuttle, keep your headset on. Everyone else, take off their earphones, and then just wait for me to bring you in, to point to you and bring you in. That makes sense. Okay? Wait,
no, go over that again.
Just do not listen. Wait for me to bring you in. When I point,
he's asking me a question.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, like, you guys are in the silent room. So take your headphones off now.
Okay.
Davis, take your headphones off. Okay. We're going to play a game called Whose Murphy Is It Anyway? Okay, here we go. Tuttle, you have to give me the 3 Murphys you have to look at the camera. Do not Google search this. 3 Murphys, what their names are, what team they play for, and position.
Okay, Daniel Murphy, second base, New York Mets. Donnie Murphy, second base, Texas Rangers. David Murphy, outfield, Cleveland Indians.
Okay, now, can you tell me the handedness?
Yes, Daniel is lefty, Donnie's righty, David's lefty.
Wow, I am impressed. Oh, wait. Yep, that's right. Okay. I'm motioning you guys.
Who are you pointing at?
I'm pointing to you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're playing Whose Murphy Is It Anyways? You have to name the 3 Murphys and what team they play for and position. Go.
David Murphy, outfield, Indians. Daniel Murphy, first base or second base, Mets. And then Donnie Murphy, second base or shortstop, Rangers.
Very nice. Now list the handedness of each.
Oh, fuck. Donnie's right-handed, David's left-handed, Daniel's left-handed. I was thinking switch for a second.
Oh, you got it. Very nice. Yeah. 2 for 2. There's no way that Davis gets this. There's no way.
No,
But
David.
let's bring this
Can we
up.
listen in on him?
Yeah, we could listen. Because we already answered.
All right, Davis, you have to name the 3 Murphys, their name, team, and position.
David Murphy, outfielder, Indians. Daniel Murphy, second base, Mets. Donnie Murphy, second base, Texas Rangers.
And now list the handedness of each.
Donnie Murphy is right-handed. Daniel Murphy is definitely left-handed. And he's a platoon guy, so I'm going to guess that David Murphy is left-handed.
Tommy's right. We all left that at one of them.
Who?
John Ryan Murphy on the Yankees.
Oh, yeah. Touche.
The GOAT.
Good old JR. Well, very good, guys. You guys all passed the
Woo.
Who's your
The
Murphy?
Murphy test.
Who I was trying to look for a winner, but I don't know if we have a winner. We just have a loser sound effect. So the anti this. Very. I'm impressed that all 3 of you knew the 3 Murphys, the team, the position, and the handedness. Very cool.
I felt
You guys-
cool when I had it, and then once they answered, it feels cool.
You
guys have
definitely.
I was all happy.
Papa Murphy's.
I was
Papa
6
Murphy's
shooter
pizza.
in.
Yeah,
Papa
Papa
Murphy's.
Murphy's take home.
Papa
Can
Murphy's
you just
is
say
the
I just
best.
had that for lunch? Boom.
Oh man, they got the taco pizza now for $10. Is nice.
Taco's like a huge ass taco. Like, what is it?
No,
No,
it's like
It's
Mexican
just full of pizza.
it's a Mexican pizza. Now, don't be silly. All right, guaranteed to dong. Who's your guaranteed to dong?
Chris Davis.
I
Tuttle.
hate you.
Take.
I was going to do that. Nat, pick one.
Well, I'll change it. I'll say.
Oh, you go.
No, you got it. You got Chris. I'll find someone else. You can take my answer. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I want to say someone I'm using, but I kind of think Encarnacion's going to hit one. I'm not using him, but yeah, E5.
All Encarnacion does is dong, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say Jay Bruce.
Okay, good old Jay. All right, under the radar, guys.
Jadong.
Cole Calhoun, dong. He's a line drive guy, so that's absolutely not happening. But I'm saying it's happening.
It'll clear the fence. He'll hit one that just clears the fence.
Nap, you got one?
No, Tuttle.
I want to go last because I want to hear your reaction to my under the radar.
Is it going to be Pierce?
Dude, I don't have one. Hardy's so freaking due to Homer.
The do factor.
Do factor.
My under the radar.
We forgot the do factor in talking about advanced metrics.
Put this guy in your Steve Pierce and Big Game James lineups. BJ Upton. It's gonna happen.
All the
I'm
BJ.
calling it. It's happening.
So with that we know who Tuttle's regret is.
No regrets. BJ is laying massive wood tonight.
What's your biggest mistake tonight going to be, Tuttle?
Rostering whoever my second starting pitcher is on DraftKings.
Fair enough. Nap.
Oh man, fading too many Blue Jays. I'm scared they're just gonna go nuts again.
And Davis.
Playing.
Yes. That is
Serious though, too many right-handed Angels bats. I should not break my BVP rule just because I think Maurer is so bad. But yeah.
That is a good answer. All right, let's take a look at this draft. You got Napster Man, lover of all first basemen, with Goldie Mezzaraki, Mezzarocco, Mezzaraki.
Mezzaraki.
That is the name. That's his new nickname. Is Mezzaraki. There you go. Chris Owings, Cano, and Maurer. Good old Maurer. And then Roto Hobo with Heron, Prado, Hill, Bruce, Cody Ross, and Brandon Phillips. Bruce at 10.3 might be the play of the day right there. And then Davis with Troutsky, Pollock, Crone, Calhoun, Shoemaker, and good old Tuffy, Go Switch.
That's gonna win.
I think my team's gonna win. Yeah.
We'll see.
If Shoemaker, yeah, these are all good teams. Well, see what happens is it's a formula set up for 4 men, but when one of the teams is just awful, the other 3 teams are inherently gonna benefit.
Yeah. Mar's going negative.
Yeah. Oh
100%.
yeah, he's gonna get beat up.
So with that, we'll say adieu. Thanks to Napster Man for joining us. You can reach him at Napster Man. And Davis Maddock, the host, he can vibe with that. And
God damn it,
Mr. Tuttle 05. Tomorrow we'll be joined with Leone. And you know that he's...
come on. Come
Come
on.
on, guys. Come on.
Come on, Dave. You know I'm
even-
going to do
I
good
don't
on
even
tomorrow's
sound like
show. Don't even say anything negative. You always like to say negative stuff. We also will have... we'll also have Laffy and... Who's the... Oh, Davis. You're the guy. Whoops.
That guy.
Yeah. Whoops. So join us tomorrow, and we will see you later. 5 o'clock Eastern. Later.
Go Thunder.
Peace.
Come on, throw those 2s up, Nap. Where them 2s at, dog?
It's for Kai's birthday. He's 2 years old.
Oh, word.
Still on?
Yes.
I don't think we're not streaming anymore.
We are
Don't say
streaming.
it.
I'm trying to stop